Good evening to all. It is a great pleasure for Zentax team to launch a new portal, that is Zentax 2.0, a new version, an upgraded version that is required, which is very much required at this juncture, I would say. Why? Because of the reason, now only the notices have started coming for all the assessees. The notices are issued in bulk, and the various sections notices are issued to the parties. So to keep track of the notices, and then what is happening to the notices after you have filed, whether you have filed it, and then what is the reply, all those things requires a very much careful planning. So to this end only, this Zentax 2.0 is launched. What is the main objective? To get the notices in time. So now, suppose you got 3 registrations. For you have to open the 3 times the portal, and then you have to track all the notices. But to do away with these difficulties, we have come out with a unique solution that is very, very versatile, and then it will be very, very useful for the assessees or registered person in general. Just a single click, they can get the details of the notices received by them. They can also track the replies sent to them, and all those things can be taken care only by this portal. Then we are having a session, technical session. In addition to launch of this new portal 2.0, we have got a technical session also. This technical session, ITC reclaimed register, that is the new electronic register. What are the things? And also there is a deadline for giving opening balance for this register. Only that has to be done manually. All the rest of the thing will be taken care by the portal itself. So feeding this opening balance is very, very important. How to calculate this opening balance, and then after that, what we are going to do that. Then Rule 37A, that is also going to be discussed. So these are all some of the issues that are faced by the registered person recently. See, change is the only thing constant. So every now and then changes are made, not only in the law. See, keeping track of the law changes is very, very easy. But now the changes that are happening in the portal, and then the advisory given by the portal authorities is very, very relevant for us. So we must know what is the column we have to fill, and then see, for example, whenever you are reclaim, you have to put it in 2 times. You have to include it in other ATC also. These are all some of the doubts that are coming up whenever we are filling these details of ITC reclaimed and reversal register. So with this, we wanted to inform, or we want to bring it to the notice of all the registered persons who have been attending this, what are the effect of these changes in the portal. So this will be a practical, useful session for all of you, we feel. So that is the reason we thought we shall have a session, and along with the launch of the new portal also. We thank one and all for your overwhelming presentation present for this webinar. Hope this webinar will be very, very useful for your day-to-day filing of the returns and also giving the opening balance. Once again, welcome you all for this webinar. Thank you. Now it is over to Aravind.
So very good afternoon, one and all. It's extremely a pleasure to address you all at this momentous occasion of the launch of Zentax 2.0. So before we really go into looking into what Zentax 2.0 provides, we would just try to understand on what are the broad issues that are basically there in the handling of GST notices. So to address on that specific aspect, we have with us CAK J. Mohan, having a very versatile experience in handling multiple GST notices, appearances before the various authorities, and also managing multiple corporates on their various GST notices. So our CAK J. Mohan would address to us on what are the various notices that are there in the portal, and how it has to be looked into. So over to you, Jay Mohan.
Thank you, sir. And good afternoon, everyone. See, GST notices, issues in handling GST notices. GST notice itself is an issue. So issues in handling GST notices, it is also accompanying as an additional baggage. So from Zentax Clinic, we have been handling GST notices from March 2022, and we have faced a lot of scrutinies. We have drafted many replies. We have filed appeals. So from our experiences, we have boiled down to few around 6 to 7 important points, which would be of great help to the taxpayers so that they can have a very good control over the notices being issued to them, and also how to deal with these notices. So we can quickly glance through the points. First one is the main important point. You have to know if you have received a notice or not. So without even knowing, we have came across different situations wherein the taxpayer has completely missed the notice, completely missed to receive the notice. So it might be due to various reasons. This email, which is sent by the department, along with uploading it into the online portal, might go to your junk email box. If you have multiple GST registrations for corporate entities who are having their presence across different states, so you might have very difficulties in logging into each and every GST registrations, and then getting the details of notices, having an Excel tracker for that, and manually updating each of these notices once it is served to through your online portal. So this is one of the key difficulties faced by the GST taxpayers. And next one is the due dates. See, tracking the due dates and replying it and updating it once you have replied to the notice. It is also a very, very tedious task, and it consumes a huge amount of time if you are doing this manually, your accounts team or any person for that matter. We also have difficulty in tracking the old notices. See, now most of the SSCs have been subjected to audit, or they might have received notices pertaining to 4 to 5 financial years, right from 2017-18 to 2022 to 2022. So in that case, you might have received more than 10 or 15 notices, and keeping a track of all these notices is of very much significance and importance, and it is also very, very difficult task. See, if you have happened to go across the additional notices tab in the GST portal, you would have noticed that once you click the hyperlink, which is in blue color, that reference number, you will go inside one notice. So after going inside that notice, you can, on the left side, you can see notice, intimation, then reply and order and reminder. These tabs you can see, and you can navigate for one particular notice. If for the other notice you have to check, again you have to come back and it will get reloaded. Then again you have to select other notice. The worst part is that from the first page, you will not be able to see which is the financial year to which the notice pertains to. So this is a very difficult situation. So all these issues are faced by the taxpayers. And there are also other situations where you receive manual notices from the CGST, Central GST Department. So keeping a track of this notice, you cannot do it parallelly. So this is not served online. Maybe it might be served online, it might not be served online. So manual notices, you have to add it, and you have to keep a track for them separately. See, there are around 31 types of notices under GST and around 46 types of orders. So having a track, having an understanding of all these notices, how to reply for each of the notices, what are the form and manner and enclosures to be made, it is very, very difficult. And most of the taxpayers we have come across and we have had a conversation with have really had a tough situation and difficult situation doing this. Next one is that, see, while replying to the notices, what are the additional attachments to be made, which form has to be, in which form the reply has to be drafted, and also the manner of drafting the reply, which will ease the officer's perspective, and which will, for the officer, which will be easier for him or her to understand, is of very much and utmost significance. I will give an example. Most of you have who have been subjected to audit might have come across this situation, wherein your P&L account might have had an item stating professional charges. So this professional charges, the officer is directly charging 18% GST on this and asking him to pay tax under RC. So this happens because of the limited understanding of the GST officer regarding preparation of financial statements. If you are able to clearly give the different invoices and other expenses which have been charged under the head of professional charges in your profit and loss account, you can very well convince the officer and get the charges dropped. Next one is taking the decision regarding how to approach the notices at various levels. See, receiving a GST notice is the first step. After submitting a reply, the adjudicating authority will pass an order. If that order is unfavorable, then you have to go to the appellate authority by filing an appeal. Once you have received an order from the appellate authority, and if that is also unfavorable, then you will have to go to the GST Tribunal, which has just been constituted but not yet operational. So once, even after going to the tribunal, you get an unfavorable order, then you will have to go to the High Court and then Supreme Court. This is the hierarchy. So taking the decision, like if you have to submit a reply to the officer, the understanding of the officer and the factual submissions you make, and also the legal submissions you make, the officer might have a different perspective and might have his own limitations for passing the order. So you have, it takes a lot of professional judgment skills to decide which forum, under which forum you can get a relief. So this is also one of the important pain points faced by taxpayers. Next one is judging the probability of a favorable or unfavorable outcome. Similar to the level at which you can deal things, it is very difficult. See, for example, you might have encountered a situation wherein you have been asked to pay a GST under reverse charge mechanisms for fees paid to Pollution Control Board or other services received from government. So for these cases, we might have a favorable advance ruling. We might have a favorable High Court judgment in other states. So all these things, it is not necessary that you might know it, but a professional person or an expert, they might be very much in touch with all these updates, and they might be able to help you better under these circumstances with limited time. Another important feature, another important point is that, or the issue is that, while we personally handle cases with the GST officers, many of them were not reluctant to take the judicial precedence for passing an order, for dropping certain issues. So they were welcoming, many of the officers were welcoming on that aspect. So for your GST team, if you are a corporate or a GST practitioner, along with filing the monthly compliances, it might be difficult for you to keep in touch with all such legal updates regarding notifications, amendments, circular, etc. So these kind of things, people are really finding it difficult. So these are the major and important difficulties which we have just consolidated into a few slides. So I think if you are some of the person, if you are one of the person who have faced either of these difficulties, you might be able to connect with this well. So we have something waiting for you, which might ease your difficulties regarding this GST notices and handling these GST notices. So I again invite Arvind Tangam to just take you through the solution. Please.
Hi everyone. So Jay Mohan has very beautifully brought out the various issues or the pain points relating to handling of GST notices. And as he rightly said, GST notice itself being an issue, there are as well other issues in handling of a GST notice. So here, to sum up with all this, we have brought in a solution under Zen Tax Clinic, unveiling to you and bringing it out to you, Zen Tax Clinic 2.0, the ultimate solution to all the pain points or the issues in GST litigation. So Zen Tax Clinic 2.0 is available at the link solutions.zentaxclinic.com. What is really special about Zen Tax Clinic 2.0? We already had Zen Tax Clinic launched in 2022, but what is extremely special in 2023 is the seamless integration of the Zen Tax portal with the GST portal. And this is the only website which provides this kind of a linking with the GST portal. Let me highlight to you how it really happens. Say, for example, a person is a tax professional or a tax practitioner or a corporate. So he or she has to monitor and track all the GST notices received. That is exactly an issue which has been highlighted by Jay Mohan as he explained to you on the issues in handling GST notices. And how is it practically happening today? An accountant or a tax practitioner logs into the GST portal for each of the user IDs and checks whether there is any notice received. But here in Zen Tax 2.0, say for example, a tax practitioner can add 50 different GST of all his clients, and he can check for GST notices in a single dashboard of all the 50 clients together. Or say it's a corporate having say 10 to 12, 15 GST registrations. So these 15 GST registrations, the username and password can be entered in the Zen Tax 2.0 portal, can be uploaded immediately through an Excel file, and through a sync all button for across all the 15, 16 GST registrations, whether there is any GST notice or not, can be monitored. Say, for example, he or she is an SME SME unit having only one GST number. How to keep track of the GST notice? I am not well conversant with the usage of the GST portal. I am not sure where to check in the GST portal for a notice. Worry not. Under Zen Tax Clinic, it is very simple that it is only click of a single button. You enter the username and password and you sync. And you can view that very much in your mobile phone to see whether there is a notice or what is the due date of the notice, what is that notice, within what time it has to be handled. The GST dashboard page, which we will be explaining to you now immediately in the next slide, will make it very clear on how beneficial this Zen Tax 2.0 portal is all for the tax practitioners, the corporates, and also for the SME entities. Second of the most important feature is it just not shows you the list of notices. It very clearly provides to you whether against a specific notice, whether you have to take an action or an action has already been taken or no action is required. So all the notices which are listed are clearly categorized into their specific description, whether it is to be an action taken. So if you have already replied for the notice in the GST portal, the portal understands that there is a reply for such a notice and it will automatically show the description as action taken. If the notice is not required to be replied at all, say for example, an LUT has been applied and such LUT is also forming part under the list of view notices and orders or view additional notices and orders. So for an LUT application, though it is reflected in the tab, there is no action per se required and it will very clearly say no action required. Or say there's an order for proceedings dropped. So against such an order, no action needs to be taken. So no action required would be the categorical description marked against it. There's a notice issued. You have replied to the notice. The officer has taken a further action. There is another notice. Then again, it comes back to action to be taken. So all these categories are very clearly marked in this Zen Tax 2.0 portal, which facilitates the tax practitioner or the accountant to take the right action at the right time. All the notices can also be downloaded directly from the portal itself, from Zentax 2.0 portal. You need not refer to the GST portal to download the actual notice. The PDF file of the actual notice or the detailed order need not be referred to the GST portal itself. All notices are available to you in Zentax 2.0 portal itself. And out of the many notices that are populated to you across the multiple GST, if a tax practitioner or a corporate requires support for any specific notice, then they can select that particular notice and click on the single button, Get Solution from Zentax Clinic. On clicking the button, only the task is immediately moved on to the Zentax team, who then works on the task and provides their professional services. As long as the data is there in the GST dashboard page, it remains the property encrypted by the tax practitioner or the corporate. Whenever the button Get Solution from Zentax Clinic is triggered, then the data is sent in a very secured manner to the Zentax team along with an NDA agreement. So who will then work on the task and resolve the task in a very professional manner. Additionally, we also have a due date dashboard. What are the notices for which I need to reply this week? We are in a week beginning 27th of November. And what are the notices that I need to take an action on in this week? That is also very clearly available through the Zentax 2.0 portal. So, having explained to you all these salient features, let me show you how the portal actually looks. When you log into the portal for the first time, you will be able to see a page which is called as this Manage GST page. So, under this Manage GST page, you have the option to add GST one by one, or you can add multiple GST through import of an Excel file. The format of the Excel file is already available when you click the button Add Multiple GST. So whenever you have to add a GST, you will be entering their username and password, which will be validated in the GST portal in a very seamless manner. So adding one GST will generally take between 15 to 20 seconds. It will verify whether the username and password is correct and retrieve the key details relating to the GST trade name, the GST, and also the state to which such GST pertains to. These details are reflected within a short period of 15 to 20 seconds. Once the GST is added, the password is correct, you can go for this Sync Now option. If you have added multiple GST, then you can go for the Sync All option. What does this Sync All do? This button retrieves the GST notices from the GST portal into our GST dashboard page, which is in our Zentax Clinic 2.0. So how does the notices which are retrieved from the GST portal display? So this is the creation of Zentax Clinic, wherein in a single dashboard, you can see there are 6 GST which is being managed from by you. And for these 6 GST, there are 152 GST notices. And out of this 150 GST notices, there is no action required for as many as 49 notices. You need to take an action for 77 notices, and you have already taken an action for 26 notices. This dashboard gives a very clear insight on what the company or the tax practitioner needs to actually do for all these GST that is managed by him. So once the sync all is completed, the sync all for the first time for every GST will take around 2 minutes of time. For every GST, the sync option may take around 2 minutes of time. So for an average of say around 10 to 15 notices, it will get synced in 2 minutes time. If you are syncing it for the second time, if say for example, you have a very good practice of syncing in the Zentax 2.0 portal on a daily basis, the next day it will get synced within 10 to 15 seconds. It might not take even more than 10 to 15 seconds at all. Say for example, you have added multiple GST and you are giving a sync call together at the first instance. It would take a reasonable amount of time depending on the number of notices that in each of the GST. So one GST, assuming having 50 to 60 GST notices, might take around 3 to 4 minutes of time to retrieve all the notices. So this is the entire comprehensive GST dashboard. From here, by clicking on the GST, it is populated in blue color. That is a link. Once you go inside that, you can view the entire details of the notice. You can download the notice. You can view the reply which is filed. So whatever reply you have given at the time of filing a reply to such notice, that can also be downloaded entirely from this GST dashboard page and entirely as you drill down into each of the hyperlinks provided there. So each notice has a hyperlink. Once you click on the blue hyperlink, you will be able to go inside and view the more details about such specific notice. So the GST dashboard also very clearly provides what is the due date within which you need to handle such a specific notice. So as long as the details are there in this GST dashboard page, it is completely visible only to the tax practitioner and the corporate who has added such GST. These details the various notices that I have, what are the notices for which I need to take an action this week? And that is clearly available in okay. We apologize for the inconvenience caused due to the disruption. So we are connecting back to the slide view. So you can check if this slide is visible. Slide is visible. Okay, the audio is also okay. So the apologies for the inconvenience caused. So as I was explaining to you from this GST dashboard page, the GST dashboard page shows the entire synopsis of the notices that are to be handled by you. So you click on each of the hyperlink that is visible in the page. and the hyperlink will take you to more details about such specific notice. So you want to see more details about what is the status as per the GST portal. This status that is shown in the Zentax 2.0 page is the status which is intelligently picked out by our portal. There is also a status which is given basically in the GST portal. That status will also be available when you go and click on the hyperlink and go inside each of the notice. So all these details are available in this GST dashboard page. Out of the various notices which are listed in the GST dashboard page, if for any specific notice, there is a support which is required from the expert team of Zentax Clinic, then it is just a click away that you can just select the notice and click on the button Get Solution from Zentax Clinic. On clicking of this button, this notice details, along with any reply if it is already filed earlier, will be automatically pushed to the Zentax team. So as long as the detail is there in the GST dashboard page, the details are all encrypted and is only and only visible to the corporate or the tax practitioner. But when the notice is selected for Get Solution from Zentax Clinic, it is sent to the team with an NDA agreement very clearly to get a solution for such a notice. So this is the solution dashboard where for a specific task, the notice has been pushed to team Zentax Clinic. So here also you can go further and communicate directly with the team of Zentax Clinic by clicking on the task ID. If you click on the task ID, you can go and interact very seamlessly, very easily with the team of Zentax Clinic. So any communication with the team Zentax Clinic is instantaneous and happens completely through the Zentax 2.0 portal. And we also have the due date dashboard. You need to very clearly know what are the notices for which you need to take an action in this week. So in this week, starting from November 27th, what is a notice for which I need to make sure there is a reply? What is a notice for which I need to appear in person? So all these actionable requirements are well thought out and those aspects are summarized in this due date dashboard. So only those tasks, that is only those notices for which the status is action to be taken. So only for those notices for which you are required to take a notice and it is falling in the week coming forward, or you have missed to attend any of the notices. So missed and upcoming due dates are available in this due date dashboard. So you can filter those dates and also take an action at the right time. So this is how Zentax Clinic 2.0 actually addresses the core issues of identification of a GST notice. So the first and the foremost issue in handling a GST notice, as Jay Mohan very beautifully and rightly pointed out, is identification of a notice. So if you don't really know that there is a GST notice to be attended to, how will you actually handle it in a very professional and the right manner? So to address that, this portal of Zentax 2.0 enables you to make sure that it is handled in the most and the best manner as possible. And as you all are well aware, Zentax 2.0 is this new feature, but Zentax as an entire platform provides end-to-end solution for the entire aspect of GST litigation. So identification of GST notices is now the most added feature. As well, you can get the solution for the actual issue. If you want the support to be handled at the department, it can as well be handled. So this entire set of issues, end-to-end solutions provided by Zentax Clinic and addressing the most and the crucial aspect of things. What is the price charged for accessing the features of Zentax 2.0? This portal, Zentax 2.0, for checking the GST notices is completely free of cost. Any person can add their GST username and password and check for their GST notices, all the features of Zentax 2.0 to check for their GST notice, to define the actionable status, action taken, action to be taken, or no action required. That is the actionable status. To check for the due date dashboard, And all these features are completely free of cost. And that is the entire uniqueness of this entire portal. This is a very, very value creating portal wherein it will ensure that no notice gets missed. That's the most important issue that we wanted to address under Zentax 2.0. So all these aspects are free of cost. If you come to Zentax Clinic for a solution, that is of course charged for the replies made by our expert team, for the factual analysis made by our support team, for the personal hearing being represented by our partners. So that entire framework of things continues to be charged. But that is as well, that is a very value creating exercise altogether. That is a separate value creation activity. This value added activity of identification of a notice, which is facilitated through this Zentax Clinic portal, is completely free of cost. We request each one of you to check onto this online portal, solutions.zentaxclinic.com, and reach out to us with your feedback. It is with your feedback that we are constantly improving, bringing in a lot of new features. This is just the beginning of a tech feature in Zentax Clinic. There are a lot of more new features awaiting. So stay tuned, subscribe to our WhatsApp channel, follow us on LinkedIn. There are going to be very regular updates, and there are going to be very many value creating sessions for the audience at large. So we thank each one of you for turning out in large numbers in spite of it being a Monday and amidst your busy schedule. So we really wanted to add and contribute towards this GST litigation process, and Zentax 2.0 is a value-added portal only for your usage. So we will release the video on how to use this portal in a very detailed manner. That will be available in our YouTube page from 4:30 p.m. today. So you can access the video to understand more features. One small condition is that, see, very many of us are used to the GST portal since 2017. And GST portal was designed by and set by, managed by one of the largest corporates, largest tech companies in India. The GST portal has had its own limitations. Zentax 2.0 is our own creation. So we are testing this portal. This is the beta version. This is a fully ready model, though it is a completely ready model. We have called this as the beta launch, a soft launch, a beta version with our very valued clients. This is for the reason that we want to understand the load of the portal. So the load of the portal is high, but we are not sure on what is that high number. So if you feel some notices are not getting retrieved, use the sync now button once again. If the notices are more than 50, 60, 100 notices for one GST, we are not sure. Maybe we have not seen such huge numbers for one GST number. So if for one GST number, the notices are more than 100, maybe sync it for the second time also. And use this portal in a phased manner. So you add one GST, it is going to be, the portal will definitely support in the easiest manner. You add all the GST also, the portal will support definitely. The portal has all the capabilities for the same. But of course, it's going to be a continuous learning process. Watch out for more such updates. Get back to us with your feedback. We very much value your feedback on what other feature on the technology side that you are expecting from Team Zentax Clinic. You can note this email ID, ceo@zentaxclinic.com. You mail all your valuable feedback about this Zentax Clinic 2.0 to this mail ID. So your motivation, your feedback has been the fundamental foundation for creation of Zentax 2.0. So keep pouring with your feedback, and we will come out with more exciting features. And we wanted to give very regular webinars as part of the knowledge updation process. And as the first part of it, today we have a very important discussion on electronic credit reversal and reclaim statement and Rule 37A of the CGST rules. Both these have due dates to be done before 30th of November. And so to elaborate, practically explain on this compliance requirement, we have with us our own CA, Prashant Surya, who will explain to you on these technical aspects. Over to you, Surya.
Yes, thus far we have we have spoke about the notices pain point. Now coming to the complaints pain point actually. So there are two major things that we'll be sharing now. One is Rule 37A reversal. One is accumulated credit reclaim reversal. So there are two things that we have to do before 30th November 2023. The PPT is visible. The PPT is visible.
1 second, Surya. PPT is
Yes.
being shared.
Yes.
Surya, PPT is now visible. You can go forward, Surya.
So there are two important dates coming forward. Of course, GSTR 9 and 9C are there over around the corner, but there are two important dates that are approaching us. One is list of opening balance of accumulated ITC reversal. That is to be done within 30th November 2023, and once it is done, it can be amended up to 3 times only till December 31. That will be scrutinized by the department and they will confirm it. Second one is Rule 37A reversal. Many of us would have done it in October GSTR 3B itself, but if it is not done, we can do very well up to 30th November 2023. So moving to the most important part of the discussion, declaration of opening balance of accumulated ITC reversal. See, GST 3B filers will very well know that since July 2022, the structure of the GST 3B has been changed. Even though outside it looked as it was way before, it has significantly changed, asking us to cite the temporary reversal, permanent reversal steps. Let me just walk through what was changed earlier in July 2022. The ITC available part was as such as it was before. But one thing in 4A5, all of the ITC columns, we were asked to put the entire ITC in GSTR 2B and not only the ITC which we are going to avail credit. So the entire ITC in GSTR 2B, including the ineligible ITC, we should put it in 4A5. After that, the ITC reversal, permanent reversal such as Section 75 reversal, motor car reversal, food and beverages reversal, that will be put in 4B1. Then the temporary reversal means you are not paying the supply within 180 days, or you haven't received the goods, or you haven't accounted the invoice. In that case, you will be reflecting it in 4B2. So, for example, we got an invoice in July 2023, but we are receiving the goods only in August 2023. Now, we should take ITC only in August 2023. In that case, in July 2023, we will put the reversal in 4B2 in temporary reversal, and while claiming it in August 2023, we will reclaim it by putting in 4A5 and 4D1. Temporarily reversed earlier, now it is reclaimed. Like that, it will be put. But now, so what is the concept of declaring opening balance? See, many were of the view that only if we have filed GSTR 3B wrongly means we should give the opening balance. Many were dubious about it. But let me explain. Even when you have filed the correct return, you should declare the opening balance as on 31/8/2023. That is subsequent to your July 2023 return. This calculation, to calculate this, we can reduce 4B2 minus 4D1. A detailed Excel sheet will be sent to you via mail. After this presentation, a detailed Excel sheet will be sent to you via mail. Also, sir, we have filed wrongly. Can we declare the opening balance? Then also you can claim. அதாவது மேனுவலா கூட நம்ம கால்குலேட் பண்ணி how many because of not receipt of goods how many you have to claim. You have the list of invoices. With that set of invoices, you can declare the opening balance and you can claim IT. So I'll just walk through how we should declare the opening balance in the screenshot. Next slide, please. Yes, in the screenshot slide, once we are into the portal, it will be there will be a tab saying report ITC reversal opening balance. In that, even though you haven't spent anything till now, you have an opening balance. Say for example, in this case, we have 458 opening balance. the screenshot now you are seeing this of yeah, next slide. The screenshot now you are seeing is of GSTR 3B, table 4 of GSTR 3B. In that, we have put it in 4B2 and we have not declared in 4B1. So the net 229 rupees plus 229 rupees, 458 rupees is coming in the electronic reclaim statement. So we should know what are the consequences if we don't report the opening balance. See, for example, in 2B we are having rupees in 2B we are having rupees 10,000 ITC. In suppose in August 2023 return, in 2B we are having 10,000 rupees as ITC in IGST column. If you are claiming 12,000 as 4A5 ITC in order ITC, if you are filling it up as rupees 15,000 as your order ITC, then the question will come from the department saying that you have put more ITC than your GSTR 2B. Then we are traditionally we are going to explain saying that we haven't claimed that ITC in July 2023, so that ITC, because due to non-receipt of goods, might be we haven't claimed that ITC in July 2023, so that ITC we are getting claimed in August 2023. In that scenario, we can no longer explain if we don't give the correct opening balance. So, if you are giving 15,000 in August 2023 ITC because of August 2023 ITC, even when there is rupees only 10,000 ITC in GSTR 2B, that remaining 5,000 should be in your electronic ledger opening balance. Then only you can claim it as ITC. Otherwise, department in future they will raise notice saying that in the opening balance itself it was rupees 0. Then how can you claim excess ITC more than your GSTR 2B ITC? So in this regard, prospectively, the dealer will be allowed to avail only the opening balance ITC in excess of GSTR 2B. To say, if there is some ITC in GSTR 2B, that plus amount in opening balance only you can claim maximum in all other ITC column in 4A5. We might never know. The department might even block filling 4A5 more than this balance. So reporting this balance is of utmost importance. We should report it within 30/11/2023. Then that will get added to the reclaim statement. Then you can claim it afterwards. Consequently, you can claim it. So to facilitate this, we have an Excel calculation. We'll send it to you across mail after the webinar. The next one is Rule 37A reversal. Rule 37A reversal, see, we are claiming ITC since Jan 2022. We are claiming ITC only if it gets reflected in GSTR 2B. Then, when it will get reflected in GSTR 2B means only if the supplier pays GSTR 1 by due date, or even after GSTR 1 after the due date, it will get reflected as a concerned GSTR 2B. So only seeing the GSTR 2B, we are claiming the ITC. But in some cases, the supplier only pays GSTR 1. The supplier only pays GSTR 1. It is because the GSTR 1 is only the basis for our GSTR 2B. We will never know. We might never know whether he pays GSTR 3B or not. See, we will check our GSTR 2B, and then only we will follow up with the supplier whether you have filed GSTR 1 or not. We will debit the amount and we will do such things. But if he has not filed GSTR 3B, if he is filing only GSTR 1, and if he is not filing GSTR 3B, then what is the consequence? That consequence is addressed in Rule 37A reversal. For this rule, we have to the action plan is we have to download all the GSTR 2A of financial 2022-23 now. All the GSTR 2A, please find it is GSTR 2A and not GSTR 2B. I will tell you why it is only GSTR 2A you should see. You directly download the GSTR 2A because in GSTR 2A there is a tab called GSTR 3B filing status. The status will get frequently updated as and when the supplier files the GSTR 3B. So please don't go with the earlier downloaded GSTR 2A. You might have downloaded when during March 2023. Don't go with that. You freshly download the GSTR 3B now and check for what the supplier the GSTR 3B filing status is no. For that supplier, we have to identify and reverse the ITC Actually, if we have filed in October 3B return, we should reverse the ITC in 4B2. But ideally, as we have filed October 3B return now and November 3B return also cannot be filed now, we should ideally reverse it in DRC03 and intimate it to the department. See, I said that we are claiming ITC only on seeing GSTR 2B, but for this aspect we should check only the GSTR 2A, because in GSTR 2A only the reports filing status, GSTR 3B filing status is there. In GSTR 2B, GSTR 1 filing status is only there. So you should freshly download all the GSTR 2A of financial year 22-23 and check if any suppliers have defaulted in filing their GSTR 3B. Yes. So another important point to be noted in Rule 37A reversal is from our practical experience, we have noted that for many suppliers, the GSTR 3B filing status is young, that is no. In that situation, we thought that those are the cases where we have to reverse the ITC for Rule 37A. But after seeing the search taxpayer tab, we found out that for quarterly return filers, for example, the quarterly return filers will file the Q1 financial year 22-23 return for April to June as a quarter, and not May individual, April or May month individually. So for their April or May invoice, the status is coming as young because their concern 3B is not paid. So you should manually go, or you should use an external software to know whether they have filed quarterly return. If they have filed quarterly return, and even then if it is coming in, then not an issue. It need not be reversed to Rule 37A. But if they are not filing quarterly returns, and if N is there in GSTR 3B filing status, we should reverse it in DRC03, because if we are not reversing it within 30/11/2023 means we are going to get a notice with along with interest. You should have to reverse the ITC in future. So please be aware of the fact that you should do both Rule 37A and the reclaim statement. You should also do the reclaim statement within 30/11/2023. And one more thing is, in some cases we might have availed March 2023 ITC in April 2023, because we would have received the goods in early April. So we would have availed March 2023 ITC in April 23 ITC. That ITC need not be brought into this Rule 37A reversal of financial 22-23. Because the rule clearly says that whatever ITC you have availed in financial year 22-23 only, you should reverse. So we need not bother if it is, because we have due date up to November 30 to claim the ITC of financial year 22-23. So we need not bother to take the list of ITC of financial year 22-23 taken in financial year 23-24. So to sum up, whatever ITC we have availed in financial year 22-23, please take a list of that and freshly download GSTR 2A and see who are the suppliers who have not filed their GSTR 3B returns yet. So from that, you filter the GSTR 3B filing status N column, and you put it in search taxpayer, and you find the to be reversed ITC. That you should be reversing it in DRC03. Otherwise, the consequences will be you have to pay interest also in the future. Yes. Yes, that's it with the session. We will be sharing the Excel sheet for reclaim statement, opening balance declaration reclaim statement. We'll be forwarding you the mail. So over to you, sir.
So we are confident that this feature of Zentax 2.0 would be a very value-adding one to everyone. We request everyone to test this portal and come back to us with your feedback. And we are also confident that this webinar on this electronic credit reversal and reclaim statement, along with Rule 37A, which is to be complied before 30th of November, though not a legal requirement, but a requirement as per the GST portal, will be better handled through the knowledge transfer in this webinar today. We will be having regular webinars, and as part of it, this coming Friday at 3 p.m. we will have a webinar for a discussion on GSTR 9. So GSTR 9 annual return is a very important compliance requirement to be handled before the 31st of December. So for the compliance requirement, we are planning to organize an exclusive session on Friday this coming week. We request each one of you to turn out in large numbers and to also share the message with your friends so that there could be a lot of value creation together. So we thank each one of you for participating in this session. So at this time, we will also open the floor for an open discussion so that you can unmute yourself and raise clarifications one by one. So you can just hold on for a minute, by which time we will unmute the audience, please. So everyone, please put on your questions in the chat box. We will immediately take up the questions now. I have checked by putting login ID and password, but notice have not fetched. So Jagdish Raj sir, we have taken note of your issue. The sync call process may take around 2 to 3 minutes, but immediately we will ask our team we will reach out with our team, and we will definitely ensure that the issue is addressed. So we will definitely assign to a specific team member, and we will immediately reach out to you to address that issue what you are having. Jagdish Raj sir, voice not clear. Jinu, okay, hope it is little clear now. Opening balance, the ECL reversal should be only financial year 23-24 credits or 22-23 as well. So
of 22-23 also, actually, because we are declaring the opening balance as on 1st August 2023, 31st August 2023. So as the time limit for availing the ITC is up to 30th November, it can be as of 22-23 as well.
Okay. Rule 37A applicable.
One second. See, even if you can take for 22-23, even for earlier years also you can take. But only thing is, it is subject to scrutiny. Just like the transcredit issues, here also you will be facing the issues. How you arrived at the opening balance, that has to be backed by the documents and also what you have put in already in the 3B. So these things have to be produced at the time of verification. So take care in putting the opening balance.
After the session is over, we will mail you that Excel template which Surya had explained, which will bring clarity on how to arrive at that figure. Arriving based on actual documents and facts is the right and the best approach. We are giving you a very simplified Excel format which can ease the approach in filling the correct value of the electronic credit reversal and reclaim statement. So one more question, Surya. Rule 37A is applicable for the financial year 23-24. Is it applicable?
It is applicable for financial year 23-24 also, but for that the due date is 30th November 2024. So for now, for 30th November 2023, we have to see only the financial year 22-23 at least.
So if anyone wishes to raise a question, please click on the option to raise hand, and we will immediately enable the speaking option. So you can click on the smiley button, which says reactions, which will help you to raise hand. Based on the raised hand, we will be able to immediately unmute you. Okay, so there are some questions. Welcome mail received, but not able to reset the password. Name Muruganandam P. Sir, we will immediately reach out to you. So in the mail, you click on the mail, the link in the mail, and it would allow you to set the password. Directly, you will be able to set the password, sir.
Then does the reclaim statement relates to rule 4243 reversal? Surya?
Yes, sir. So Rule 4243 reversal talks about permanent reversals. We are talking here about temporary reversals. Temporary reversals are saying that goods not received, we are not paying supplier within 180 days. That alone we should get it reflected in 4B2. So it talks about that only, not the permanent reversals.
So permanent reversal is given in a separate field in GSTR 3B. Temporary reversal in a separate field. So this will not be applicable. Whether the reversal is only for annual return or forthcoming month onwards, the data is to be provided in GSTR 3B.
Annual return at all. Actually, this is not interlinked at all. This is not for the purpose of annual return. Annual return is a separate compliance. So this is for the GST 3B was modified from July 2022 for facilitating that the opening balance has been, they have asked to put the opening balance. I think you are asking about the rule 37-year reversal also. That reversal also is a separate tool, independent of GSTR 990. It's not part of annual compliance. So every 30th November 2023, every 30th November, you should be able to comply in 37A based on the non-filing of GSTR 3B by your suppliers.
Can we add an opening balance? Surya, the critical question, can we add an opening balance if even not reversed earlier under 4B2? So this is a interesting question that we have already discussed.
அது நாங்க எல்லாருமே சந்தோஷப்பட்டு தான் இருக்கோம். பட் வந்து கண்டிப்பா ஆட் பண்ணிக்கலாம் சார். என் ஒப்பீனியன்ல கண்டிப்பா we can definitely add it சார். Because the purpose என்ன அப்படின்னா, அதாவது இனிமேல் நீங்க கோயிங் ஃபார்வர்ட் அங்க ஏதாவது மாத்தி போட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா, அதாவது ஐடிசி 2B இருக்க ஐடிசி விட 4AP அதிகமா போட்டீங்கன்னா உங்களை பிடிக்கிறதுக்கு தான் அந்த புதுசா இது கொண்டு வந்திருக்கப்பட்டிருக்கா தவிர ரெட்ராஸ்பெக்டிவா கொண்டு வரல அப்படிங்கிறது தான் என்னோட ஒப்பீனியன் அட்லீஸ்ட். So வந்து கண்டிப்பா போட்டுக்கிறது, பட் இட் வில் பி சப்ஜெக்ட் டு ஸ்க்ரூட்டினி. இட் வில் பி சப்ஜெக்ட் டு டெஃபினெட்லி இட் வில் பி சப்ஜெக்ட் டு ஸ்க்ரூட்டினி. as பாலிசர் செஞ்சு அந்த டிரான் ஐடிசி மாதிரி இதுவும் வந்து அங்கேயும் வந்து சார் டிரான்ஸ் நான் கிளைம் பண்ண போட்டுக்கலாமான்னு கேட்டா கண்டிப்பா போட்டுக்கலாம். பட் அங்க கண்டிப்பா உடனே முடியாது. டிரான்ஸ்ல வந்து நான் கம்மியா நான் 1 லட்சம் தான் வச்சுட்டு நான் 1.5 லட்சம் டிரான் ஐடிசி இங்க கேரி ஃபார்வர்ட் பண்ணா பண்ணவே முடியாது. பட் இந்த கேஸ்ல கண்டிப்பா 4B2 நான் ரிவர்ஸ் பண்ணல அப்படின்னா புதுசா இப்ப கிளைம் பண்ணிக்கலாம். தட்ஸ் நாட் an issue, பட் இட் வில் பி சப்ஜெக்ட் டு ஸ்க்ரூட்டினி. கண்டிப்பா நம்ம ப்ரூவ் பண்ண வேண்டியிருக்கும். இதை நான் ஆல்ரெடி ரிவர்ஸ் பண்ணிருக்கேன், அதாவது 4AP நெட் ஆஃப் பண்ணி காமிச்சிட்டேன் அப்படின்னு நான் ப்ரூவ் பண்ண வேண்டியிருக்கும். அசிங் ஆஃபீஸருக்கு ப்ரூவ் பண்ணா he might allow.
So these are the questions that we had received. So we hope that it has been a very value-adding session. We thank one and all for the very active participation for turning out in such large numbers. Even though the invite was at a very short notice, please block your calendars for Friday for an active discussion on GSTR 9. If you have any questions, you can send it to us much earlier as well. We will make a note of it and make sure that the same is addressed as part of the session. we request all of you to try the portal solutions.zentraxclinic.com. Muruganandam sir, we will reach out to you immediately and make sure that the portal is functioning as expected. So anyone else having any issues, please reach out to our support team members. We are giving you the contact numbers of our support team now immediately. You can take a note of it. We are putting it also in the chat box. So our admin number 89039511122. So this is the contact number of our admin who will be able to assist on the immediate functionalities of the portal. We are also giving you the contact number of our Jnana Prakash. So Jnana Prakash is a well versatile person on the GST portal. So he would be able to support you on any aspect relating to the various clarifications also. So here I am also entering the contact number of Jnana Prakash. 91502 91502 31122. This is Mr. Jnana Prakash. So you can always reach out to them to understand on the functionalities of the portal. Okay, Shanmugavel has raised his hand. Shanmugavel, actually you can unmute yourself now and talk. Shanmugavel.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Shanmugavel.
I have a doubt regarding the Rule 37. ITC claimed in 22-23 only to be seen for this reversal, and the 22-23 ITC availed in 23-24 need not be reversed. Can someone explain that part alone?
Sir. Yes, Surya.
Yes, sir. Sir, Rule 37A என்ன கொடுத்திருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா, Rule 37A தெரியுமா, financial year 22-23 நீங்க அவைல் பண்ண ஐடிசிக்கு 3B வந்து சப்ளைஸ் ஃபைல் பண்ணல, even though it gets reflected in 2B, நீங்க அவங்க 3B ஃபைல் பண்ணாம இருந்தா you should reverse the ITC கொடுத்திருக்காங்க சார். சோ அவங்க பேசுறது financial year 22-23 பத்தின ஐடிசி பத்தினது தான், not related to ITC available in financial year 23-24. சோ அதனால financial year 23-24 தான் நம்ம ஐடிசியை அவைல் பண்ணிருக்கோம் அப்படின்னா அது அடுத்த வருஷத்துக்கு ரிவர்ஸ் பண்ண போறோம்.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yes, Raja.
Raja, சொல்லுங்க.
Hello, sir. Audible?
Yes. You are audible. Okay, until we get Raja connected, we replied GST notice through online, but department not received. Hard copies they are accepting. In this situation, what we can do? So Shankar asked, sir, yes, sir. So there are sometimes some technical issues. Our team reached out to the system assistant there to check the notice receipt at their side. So we will have to follow till the very end to ensure that the issue. Yes, Raja, we have got you. You are audible.